All right, hello there. Today I am joined by Alex. Is it Alex Lezio? Is that how you say your username? Alex Lezio?
It is.
Yes.
It is.
Okay.
I had my name, and then being fresh and hip with the kids, I wanted a nice hip hop tag at the end, so got a nice
It,
little yo on it.
it works. It works. I'm joined by Alex Lezio from TikTok. If you haven't followed him, go follow him. He has a lot of great Star Wars content, especially on Star Wars books. And today we are going to be talking about The Mandalorian and Grogu. I guess we can call it the teaser trailer. I think they call it the official trailer, but it's a teaser trailer.
It is. It's
Yeah,
we still know next to nothing about what's in the movie, but they're teasing
100%.
like, hey, check out Zeb, check out Sigourney Weaver.
Before we get into it, though, I'm planning to do a lot of these videos with different people in the community. You are the first for this one, so congratulations on that. But for people that don't know you, who might not follow you, I'd like to let them know a little bit about you. So if you could give me some of your Star Wars favorites, so I would love to get your favorite Star Wars movie, TV show. You can break that up into live action and animated if you'd like. Your favorite character, your favorite book, and if you want, your favorite video game.
Okay, let's see. So, movie's gonna be actually, you know what? I think all are pretty easy because my favorite movie is A New Hope. I've always maintained I still think the original trilogy are the best of them.
I agree.
Everything a far gap behind. Favorite show, hands down, Andor.
Yeah.
Not even remotely close. But I want to say my favorite animated show because I would like to give some credit to. I do love Rebels.
Yes. Yes.
Don't get me wrong, though. I can hear pitchforks coming. Clone Wars is also excellent.
I give the edge to Rebels as well, I think, and so does my fiance as well. She loves Rebels.
It's the fact that it's more cohesive makes it stand a little bit stronger. I like stuff
I
that
agree.
builds on its narrative as opposed to the what do you call it? Just different storylines.
Well, that's the thing.
Uh,
Clone Wars feels very adventure of the week type stuff.
exactly.
It's great. Don't get us wrong here. Clone Wars is great. Season 7 is the last
Oh
four
yeah,
episodes is some of my favorite Star Wars of all time. But
absolutely.
I just think Rebels has that little something going for it.
hmm and then let's see. My favorite book, without question, is Revenge of the Sith by Matthew Stover. It is the Bible by which I gauge every Star Wars project. I was talking about earlier how, in a world of like discourse around like the sequels, the only thing that has ever mattered to me around Last Jedi in particular is Matthew Stover, the author of Revenge of the Sith, said he loves it. And
Oh
so,
wow. Okay, yeah.
hands down, he's got it higher than me. He said it was his second favorite. I'm like, ooh, that's bold.
Wow.
Yeah. It made
I'd
me
love
rethink, like, maybe, do I not like it enough?
I would
Should
love
I
to
like it more?
see Matt Stover come back and write for the current canon. Because my God, I read. Oh, actually, no, I didn't read it. I audibled the Revenge of the Sith novel maybe about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. Holy shit, is that a good book? Like,
hmm
it's so good.
And it's apparently not even his best one. A lot of people regard Traitor as the best, and I haven't gotten to the
Really?
NJO yet, but I
That's
want to
New
get there
Jedi Order.
just for that.
Yeah, I'm just starting or restarting a read of New Jedi Order.
Ooh.
I read it as a kid,
Mm,
and I don't remember a whole lot of it, to be honest. And I grew up in a very small country town, which didn't have a bookstore. So I got all my books from a library, and they didn't have the complete set. So I've read random books. I don't even know what I have read, what I haven't read. And I was reading Vector Prime a couple of months ago, and somewhere in the back of my head, when they started talking about the moon of Cerndippal starting to come down, I was just like, why do I remember this? What something's gonna happen here? And then it just clicked, and I was like, Chewbacca, no!
Someone's gonna get
It just
obliterated.
all came flooding back to me, and I was like, oh no, that's this book. I had a big moment rereading that book.
Yeah. Oh, well, you'll have to let me know when you get to Traitor because you'll probably beat me there. I'm reading. There's a lot of like Bantam era books that I want to read first to get the full
Yeah.
experience. But yeah, so that's best book, and then my favorite
Uh,
video game, probably Fallen Order. I'll say there's not a huge standout among them. I like a lot of them, and I don't necessarily like extraordinarily love any. But Fallen Order is just such a solid game. Cal is, in my opinion, one of the best characters they've introduced, and it's a good time.
Yeah, I think I would agree. I don't know if I give. I don't know. I love Jedi Survivor.
It is very cool. I think that one is mostly just hurt by the fact that I haven't finished it.
Yeah, I think Fallen Order is a more consistent game, if that makes sense. But Survivor is great, but there's a little bit of jank that sort of holds it back. But fantastic game. Sorry, favorite character as well.
Also, simple, basic, Luke Skywalker. He's my man. He's my number one.
Yeah, I can get down with that.
And it's funny because he wasn't always. I feel like whenever I say this, it sounds weird, but when I was young, like, it was kind of hip to hate on Luke. Like, oh, he's just the whiny protagonist, serviceable, but nothing extraordinary. But it was really like after The Last Jedi that I was like, oh man, no, Luke is actually pretty cool, Yeah. I think as I've gotten older, I've started to gravitate more towards characters like Luke, like Superman, these just good guys.
I personally, again, the pitchforks are probably coming out for me now. I actually quite enjoy his arc in The Last Jedi. It works for me. I like the fact that we can watch our heroes fail. His conversation with Yoda in that movie is one of my favorite Star Wars moments of all time. But yeah. So all in all, fantastic picks for all your favorites. Have you ordered the special edition upcoming of the Revenge of the Sith novel? I've got to assume. Oh yes.
I had it the second they announced it. I was sitting across from my fiance at the time, and I was like, "Oh, they're releasing a special edition," and then I was like, "Oh, I don't know. What is it? $60?
Something like that." It's pricey.
It's kind of expensive, and I already have 2 copies, and she looks at me like, are you kidding? Like, you think you're not going to get this? Of course you're going to get it. You're going to hem and haw for days, and then you're going to get it. So just get it now.
Just get it.
God,
yeah.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you for that. Moving on to what we're here to talk about, which is The Mandalorian and Grogu, which had its first teaser trailer. They call it the official trailer. I'm going to call this a teaser trailer. Come out... Was that last week? This week? Time is a blur to me at the moment. Was that a couple days ago? I honestly, I don't remember. That came out. That movie is coming out on May 22nd, 2026. So we're about, 8 months away from this movie? Give or take, yeah. So honestly, what were your initial thoughts on this trailer?
I think a part of the issue is, like, everyone's in a little bit of a sour spot with Mando. I think if this had come out after season 2, people would be a lot more optimistic. After season 3, it's like stuff hasn't been great in a while. And so, we're kind of concerned it's going to be more of that. And that's sort of the vibe I had. It's like, I need this to be something significant. Season 3 kind of felt like Mando was spinning his wheels for a season.
Yeah, and I can see that.
And I'm kind of worried this is going to be more of the same, It may be fun, it may be a fine adventure, but for Mando specifically, I think this needs to be a bit more than that.
I am one of the few people, apparently, that enjoyed Mandalorian Season 3. I do agree with the wheel spinning in terms of character. Like, I felt like the characters... especially for Mando, started and ended in the same place, essentially. Weirdly enough, though, for me, like, something I'd always wanted was to see Mandalore be retaken by Mandalorians, and it was a very specific want that I wanted, like, and this was, like, way before The Mandalorian was even a show. And then, so to finally get that in Season 3, I was like, oh, yes, this is amazing! And then I'd go online, I was like, oh, everyone hates this! I'm like, oh, damn, like... So I personally got a lot out of it and had a lot of fun with it, but I do agree that it didn't really move the needle a whole lot for Mando and Grogu in a way, especially with the way that movie, that season ends. It feels like a very final thing. Like, that could be the end of this story. They're kicking up their feet on the porch, and yeah, I agree. I hope that this movie has a story to tell. And one that is meaningful.
Exactly.
And one that is not just a couple of episodes of a proposed season 4 that has been mishmashed into a movie.
Yeah. And even, like I'll even say like it could be a couple of episodes as long as they're the right episodes. I don't want episodes like 2, 3, and 4, but like I mentioned, if you took season 2, take those last couple episodes, make a movie about Grogu's been kidnapped, we do this mission to retrieve him, and then he saves him and they part tearfully, like that would have been a fine movie.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
They've done episodes that could reach the quality that I'm expecting from this. It's just, will this be that?
Yeah.
I will say, like,
sorry, go ahead.
I think season 3 had issues. I do want to mention, just to your credit, like, as always, the hate is overblown. Like, there are people who act like season 3 is the worst thing they've ever done. It's the worst show I've ever seen. Like, this is ridiculous. It was a slightly worse season than the other two. But, like, I did also like seeing them retake Mandalore.
Yeah, that's the thing. And, like, I can see where people have issues with it. Like, I'm not blind to the issues that were there. But like you said, I do think that people sort of went a bit too far with it. It was just like they cranked the hate up to 11 straight away. And I was just like, give it a minute. Like, let it breathe a little bit. But, yeah. Do you think there needs to be a massive change in this movie? Like, it can't just be the status quo of Mando's a bounty hunter again and he's going out on another adventure. Does this need to connect into the larger story being told? Does this need to connect over to Ahsoka? Does this need to connect into maybe Skeleton Crew? Do you think it needs to have those connections at all? Because people keep talking about this Mandoverse movie that Filoni might do in 2029, 2030 at this point. Do you think it needs to connect, or do you think a self-contained Mandalorian and Grogu story could work?
Absolutely, I do. And I think I would prefer a self-contained story. I don't particularly care about, like, it'd be kind of neat to see Ahsoka. And, like, frankly, it already is with, like, Zeb showing up. As of now, Mando and Zeb have met once. So it's already, we're jumping into just, like, they've befriended each other for the sake of Zeb being in this movie. But overall, like, to me, cameos are meaningless and little extra appearances are meaningless. It's actually one of the things I most strongly criticize about season 2 is that it feels a bit too much like repeatedly going like, hey, look, I know you. I don't need or necessarily even want any connections to the Thrawn story or anything else. I want a story that is meaningful to Din and Grogu. I think it needs to be something dramatic that changes in their lives, but not necessarily in the rest of the galaxy.
Do you think seeing this trailer and seeing the Razor Quest back, a new Razor Quest, and seeing his pulse rifle back, do you think they're trying to go back to season 1 vibes in a way by like, okay, we've changed all these things, we gave him a new starfighter, we gave him this, we gave him that, let's go back to what he had before as a way to sort of appease people that didn't like season 3? Or do you think, I don't know, like, because I saw the Razor Quest and I'm like, oh, are we ditching the N1 already? Like, what's... Because, like, they really focused on that N1 in those Book of Boba Fett episodes. Like, he had a whole episode about getting this new N1, and then a season later they're ditching it already. I don't know. I wonder what they're doing here. Are they trying to just reset? Is this like a soft reset? Back to basics, back to bounty hunting?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
It's funny, like, I didn't even actually pick up on the Razor Crest until, like, someone pointed out to me. I had completely forgotten that, like, yeah, it exploded. It shouldn't be here. Because, yeah, it did just kind of feel like jumping back. And especially, I also hadn't realized the pulse rifle.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right.
Someone on TikTok pointed that out to me. I didn't even see it in the first time. And someone was like, yeah, he shoots one of those robots with it. And I'm like, oh, shit, he does too. Like...
And I guess there's no reason he couldn't get another one. But I definitely think there is something to be said about trying to recapture season 1. Now I do think, like, I've talked a lot about, I feel a part of why season 3 is so messy is that it was originally intended not to have Grogu in it.
Oh yeah,
I think there's a pretty clear through line for what the season was supposed to be about, that you can see kind of underneath what it is.
Yeah.
And I think that arc of, Din in season 3 was trying to pretend that he was who he used to be. He was pretending that he was still a bounty hunter. And then hypothetically season 4 would be about like, no, I want to be a dad. I want to be this new person who's, a bit different than who I used to be. And in that context, I think him getting a bigger ship made sense anyways. I do wish it was something new. I think it's a little boring that they just went back to a new Razor Crest.
Yeah.
I can give him something bigger. Give Grogu an actual bedroom. Give him a ghost.
Yeah.
His own ghost.
Little phantom to go under the ghost. Was there anything in the trailer that sort of stuck out to you as being like, oh, that's cool, that's interesting, that's... Because it doesn't really give us anything in terms of plot. We're sort of just seeing... It's almost a sizzle reel, really.
Yes.
Was there anything that stuck out to you as being like, oh, that's interesting, I want to know more about that? Or do you think it was more just like, that's definitely a Mandalorian and Grogu stuff? Like...
That's the thing. It's kind of just that. I'd say the only thing of note that like I thought was a nice choice is that when the walkers are on whatever that snowy planet is, going along that ridge, I couldn't place the movie at the time, and I'm finding now that I can't remember it again, but it's a reference to like a classic like war movie about like horse riders traveling around a mountain pass and stuff like collapsing on top of them. There was at least enough there that I felt it was a clear reference, and someone on Twitter or Instagram commented on it. And all I can see in my head is the shot, so forgive me for not having the title.
No, that's so good.
But I like when, Star Wars, obviously, its DNA is take a classic movie, take something old, and make it Star Wars-y. So them doing movies like that is really cool. It reminds me of like Book of Boba Fett doing Lawrence of Arabia with the train heist.
Yeah.
I like seeing the influences at work in Star Wars.
Yeah. Have you... I don't know if you were ever against it, but have you come around on the title being The Mandalorian and Grogu? Because I was fully against it at first, and for some reason, the poster... The font of it, it just gave me that old adventure serial. I was thinking of Indiana Jones, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, old pulpy stuff like that, and it just sort of clicked for me, and I was just like, you know what, I actually don't mind it now. And that was the first time I've ever felt like that. I've been bitching on this title for like over a year, and I don't know why, but that poster made me change my tune.
I still don't like the title. I was absolutely also someone who hated it. I do love that poster though. I'm with you on the poster itself. And I'll admit, like, when you put it like that, when you mention like Butch and Sundance, I can get behind it a little bit, but I don't know.
It is one of those things, yeah. Like, one of the biggest inspirations is, I think, that old, what is it called? Lone Wolf and Cub, which is, a trope that is everywhere in media nowadays. The Last of Us is that same trope, stuff like that. I don't know. It's brought me around on it, but at the cynical part of my brain is just like, it just comes down to marketing. They need to call it The Mandalorian and Grogu because audiences are dumb. We're dumb. We won't know what it is otherwise. If they come out and call this The Clan of Two, people won't know what the hell that is. Like it's I think it's just one of those sad realities of media today. Like, hey guys, there's a new Captain America movie. Oh cool, what's it called? Captain America. It's like, okay, like, fair enough.
I mean, yeah, I think like I don't know, I think if you have a picture of Mando on the cover, enough people know him, they could get it. B, I even think like if it had been The Mandalorian and the Child, I could have gotten behind it, or maybe And His Cub, or like, I think there are other titles using The Mandalorian. I think a nice middle ground would be if, like, I don't know. Now we're really getting into, because I love those serial titles. That's something
Oh,
that
yeah.
I think Star Wars has gotten way too far from. Their titles recently are just Ahsoka, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes.
I think those are bland. It should
Yes.
be the adventures of Ahsoka in, Tides of Peridia or whatever.
I would love that, to be honest.
And so I think if this were the Mandalorian and Grogu in Clan of Two or whatever.
Oh, actually, that's a great idea. I would love, yeah, actually, because they sort of do that a little bit on the poster, I think it was, where it's like the Mandalorian, Pedro Pascal, and then it has and Grogu as himself, I think it says.
Yes.
Or that might have been in the press release or something. But yeah, actually, I think
it's on here.
That's a great idea, actually, if you had it like that, the Mandalorian and Grogu in Clan of Two. That's actually a fantastic idea. I could really get on board with that. Going back through this trailer, we do see some cool things. We see a brief shot of Zeb in a hallway kicking ass against some stormtroopers.
We're getting
I'm not gonna
Daredevil.
We're getting a hallway scene. I like how hallway scene is like becoming a trope now. Like you have the Vader hallway scene, you have the Daredevil hallway scenes, we just have hallway scenes now. It's so weird to me. But we see Zeb taking on some stormtroopers. We see Sigourney Weaver briefly, which I'm a big fan of Sigourney Weaver. I can't wait to see her in this. No idea what her role is. She looks to be part of the New Republic, I believe. I think.
I know. That's something like, if anything in this, I wish we at least had a concept for who she is. And I think it sort of belies one thing I and many others have criticized is the cinematography on this is still a bit bland.
It's
something that's been an issue with Mando for a while.
Yeah.
And if it had even framed the shot in any particular way, it would be fun to kind of speculate on who is she, like just based on her surroundings. And it's just her at a table.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I have seen... have you seen any of the other footage for this movie that wasn't publicly released?
Oh.
So they showed off a little bit at D23. They showed a little bit off at Star Wars Celebration earlier this year. Some of that made its way online. Did you manage to see any of that?
Well, I mean, I would never watch anything that wasn't approved of and released, but
yes, neither would I. Disney, I definitely didn't huddle around someone's phone 2 hours after the Mandalorian and Grogu panel at Celebration with like 20 other people and watch
it may
a
have
recording.
Unwillingly crossed my screen.
Someone forced me to watch it. Like
I was gonna say the same thing. Yeah, they got me with the what's the title? Why is it escaping me?
Clockwork Orange.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I knew exactly where you were going. Just because in that footage we've seen a lot of action scenes, and I think they're filming them really cool. I don't know if you've seen them. There is a scene. Spoilers if you don't want to be spoiled from footage that you haven't seen. But there is we've seen the scene of that AT-ACT getting taken out and going down the side of the hill. We see what happens inside of that. Yes. Mando breaks in and takes out the stormtroopers, and it's all done in one shot, which is great. I love that kind of stuff. If you put a one shot tracking camera in an action scene, I'm a whore. I will love it. And I saw another one. I think this might have been in the D23 one, where I'm not sure if the camera is on a mouse droid or it's following a mouse droid, but it's like zooming through all these tunnels, and there's all these like mini fights going on through these tunnels, Mandalorians fighting what looks like Imperials, and it's just sort of zooming around this massive facility, and it looks awesome. And then, like you said, you get to the dialogue scenes, and it's reverse shot over the shoulder, and it's just like the most bland, flat, boring, standard thing you could do.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I have hope that the action will pick up the rest of it, just based on the stuff that I have seen. But I'm not going to say that it's not a little bit bland at times.
That's the thing. And it makes me think, like, because you're right, I do remember, like, that one-shot action scene. I think that probably should have been in this. I don't know why they're only showing off the interesting stuff to private audiences.
That's the thing, and I'm more surprised at the amount of footage that was shown before a publicly released trailer, I felt like they showed this off at two D23s, a little bit at Celebration. I feel like there was a lot of footage that had been shown before this trailer, and then when this trailer comes, it's kind of light. It's pretty standard. Like I said before, it's a bit of a sizzle reel. So I don't know. Again, we are a decent amount of time out from this movie. I imagine a new trailer closer to the date will show a lot more. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just missing something. It's missing the money shot, I guess. You know, their money shot is that Walker falling over. I don't know if that's enough, and I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it would be a cool like middle thing, but it's not the shot to end on. And what's been especially funny about this is people have mentioned like, boy, Mandalorian is really speeding up the sequel re-evaluation as people online are saying, like, what happened to all this visual appeal, all this sauce?
I saw that I saw that post, I think it was yesterday, and I was just like, oh, it's happening. It's happening quicker than I thought. Like
Rise of Skywalker's a masterpiece.
They're not entirely wrong though, because the sequels, for all their faults, those are some good looking movies. Like,
oh, beautiful.
Last Jedi looks spectacular to me. Even Rise of Skywalker,
like, it is messy, but it looks nice.
They've got some good visuals behind them. And I was looking up, apparently the budget for Mandalorian and Grogu, around 160 million, I think was the last thing I saw. For comparison, I think a season of the show was around 120. So they've got a little bit extra for a movie. Do you still think, or I don't know, I don't know if anyone else thought this, I think that this was originally season 4 that has been reworked into a movie. Do you think the plan was always for a movie, or do you think that this was season 4 be changed?
It's tough getting like into the mindset of them. I think until we know what's happening in it, we won't know. I feel like it'll be evident when I'm watching the movie, like if this feels like it was probably going to be a season 4. I think it's entirely possible.
Yeah.
I would not be remotely surprised to learn that was the case. Which, in fairness, like between the two, I will always go for take a season and make it a movie, as opposed to take a movie and make it a season. I feel like it's rare that it's just like, I don't think the motivation for any of these has been, you know, we just have too much story to tell that it needs to be a season of TV.
Yeah,
I think it's mostly been, we want to stretch out Disney Plus subscriptions.
Yeah.
And so I will absolutely take, like, they're not doing that this time. They've got 2 hours worth of story, and they're going to tell it over 2 hours instead of 9.
Do you think they also just really wanted to get Star Wars back into the theaters? Because it's been, what, 6 years at this point, and it'll be 7 years by the time this movie comes out?
I was going to say, yeah. I think that's also an element, and that's a part of why I'm worried, like, I hope that this is something significant. I hope it doesn't feel like a TV show, because there is pressure on it being the return to theaters.
Yeah.
For a series that historically was movies, and they were spectacle movies, you know.
They were events. It's an event to go to a Star Wars movie. Despite everyone hating them at the time, when I went to the Rise of Skywalker midnight screening, it was sold out. In Australia, that doesn't happen much. The last sold out theater I went to was for, I think, Spider-Man No Way Home. And that's the only time it's happened. It does not sell out. Star Wars is the only thing that will fill a cinema here. And it's been a long time. And I do wonder, has it been too long? Do people want to go back to the movies for Star Wars, especially for something that isn't episode 10? You know, for something that is a spun off from a TV show. Is that enough to get people back into the theater? I was talking about or speculating about what the box office for this could be. And I'm somewhere around like the 400 to 500 million mark. But I say that with absolutely no confidence as well, because I have no idea, because the box office doesn't work how it used to anymore. I think after COVID, my brain is still pre-COVID times. And I can't predict the box office anymore. I used to be so good at it, and now I can't pick anything. I thought Superman 800 million easy, topped out at like 615, I think it was. I thought Jurassic World Rebirth. I thought, every other Jurassic World has made over 1 billion. I was like, yeah, that'll be 1.1, 1.2. I think it was around 800, stuff like that. And then Element 7 made a good point. He stitched one of my TikToks and was just like, I think you're forgetting the marketability of Grogu, of the child. Like,
True.
so many people know that little guy. So many people love that little guy. I know my fiance would probably not be watching this movie if Grogu were not in it. She loves him so much. And I was just like, you've got a point. Yeah, like Grogu might be the thing to get people back to the cinema. What do you think?
He may be, and I think that does kind of show in the trailer that they released. It's very Grogu forward in a way that I don't love, but like that may be the financially right call. Because yeah, he's such a popular figure. I think they're banking on the recognizability of Mandalorian and Grogu. I hope it doesn't come back to bite them in the form of, show movies like the Marvels failed in part because a lot of people felt that they needed to do homework. They felt that they had to go back and watch several different TV shows to learn about these characters. And Mandalorian and Grogu, it's just one TV show, but it's still, do I need to watch 3 seasons of TV before I can watch this movie?
Yeah. I heard a lot of that about the Ahsoka show before it came out. And people were like, well, wait, do I need to go watch 4 seasons of Rebels first? Mm. And I was like, oh, no, not really. And then I watched Ahsoka and I was like, oh, maybe kind of, yeah. Like, it might make some things go down a little bit easier. I don't know. I feel like we're not at MCU levels of homework required yet for Star Wars. Mm-hmm. I think we might be on that path, though.
That's the thing. I worry that we're getting too close.
Yeah. Also, I just want to reiterate to anyone watching when this goes out, I'm still excited for this movie. I know it sounds like we might be kind of trashing it a little bit here, but I'm still very excited for this movie and can't wait. But I just want to get that across.
I think that, in an internet that is so hate focused, it's tough to walk the line between like, we can legitimately criticize what isn't working and point out what we feel are flaws, but like, this isn't like, woke Disney ruining Star Wars, putting out garbage Mando and Grogu. Where's my Star Killer movie?
Oh, God.
Kathleen.
If a Star Killer movie comes out, I'm not watching that. I can't. I don't think I can sit through that.
The MCU style, I think, is coming back to bite them too, because you have a lot of movies where people are going in like, how much homework do I need to do? People don't want to catch the new thing because it's like, once you fall behind, then it's like, well, I would need to watch so much to catch up again. I'd rather just like cut my losses. And, especially with how expensive movie tickets are these days, they're hesitant to do that to begin with. And it's something that like I worry about because I also have talked a lot with other friends of mine who are fans of the EU. A part of why they reset the expanded universe and said that that's all Legends is because sales were dropping. And sales were dropping because everything was building off of what came before. And suddenly it got to the point where, they're pitching a trilogy of books about Jaina Solo. If I wanted to read those, do I need to read all of Legacy of the Force? Do I need to read all of the New Jedi Order? Even if you say, like, some people would say, no, you can probably jump right in. But there's a lot of context I'm going to be missing. And they're going to make references I don't get.
That's the thing. Someone asked me very recently if they could jump into New Jedi Order without having read anything else. And I was like, you can. Mm-hmm. You're going to be missing a lot of context, though. Like, you're going to have Anakin, Jaina, and Jason, and you're not going to know who these people are. You're going to... Mara Jade. Like, there's so much there.
Yeah. They have connections to our main characters. Like, okay, this is Luke's wife. This is Han's daughter. Who on earth is Cam Salazar? Where did this guy come from? And I worry that, jumping in with 3 seasons of a TV show for this, whereas, like, I think the Rey movie, despite controversy around that character, might have been a safer bet just because people know Rey.
Yeah.
I think much like Anakin, it's like, sure, people didn't like the prequels, but any new project with Anakin still had potential to be good. He was still going to be Darth Vader.
Yeah, 100%. So going back to the trailer, we do see Zeb, we see Sigourney Weaver, we see what I believe is Rotta the Hutt. Is that him? Is that Stinky from the Clone Wars movie?
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be. I suppose we don't know for certain, but like we know that Jeremy Allen White is playing him. It must be. And he's looking, he got swole
He's
in the
buff.
meantime.
I
I'm
feel
glad
like
that we're getting some representation for the buff Hutts
Oh yeah.
as seen in comics up to now.
I feel like we're about to hear a whole bunch of really weird hear me outs next year when this movie comes out.
Got us thinking it'd be heartthrob.
Yeah. Do you think he'll figure into the story in any meaningful way, or do you think it'll be part of the side quest of the Mandalorian episodes? Like, hey, we need information. Well, first fight in this gladiator thing to prove yourself, and then we'll give you the information. Do you think it'll be something like that, or do you think there'll be a little bit more to it?
It's very possible. It could also be like the dramatic kind of opening. You want a big action sequence to start with, so it looks like Din is going to fight a Rancor while he's in there. Is that a Rancor? That's some
I'm
other
not
creature.
sure. I was looking at it before. I don't believe it's a Rancor.
No, it does look different enough.
Yeah.
Some big monster, big ugly.
A lot of creatures in this trailer.
That's true. I am always glad to get some more Anzellans. So I am thrilled about that.
I am a big fan of the Anzellans. They are so stupid, but I love them so much. I think it's out of frame
it's so perfectly fitting with the Star Wars vibe, just a weird little guy.
Weird little guy. I have the life-size pop vinyl up there behind one of the many Grogus that we have of Babu Freak up there. I love those little guys. They're so dumb. I just love them so much. I'm all for them.
I myself got the animatronic Babu Frick.
Oh,
that they
excellent.
sell at Galaxy's Edge. It's he's my favorite for the same reason as I love Dexter Jetster.
Oh yes, very very cool.
But
yeah, so we see a lot of weird creatures. We see a lot of weird droids, I guess. Like, look like they've been like sort of cobbled together from different pieces. These sort of gladiator droids.
Yeah.
I don't know. You see the Hutt Clan symbol in the background there.
I figure they may be like a security droid. I figure opening could be Din has been sent on a bounty to acquire something from Stinky the Hutt, which I assume will be the name he goes by. I have to assume that nickname that a random 14-year-old gave him as a baby has stuck.
Yeah. If you cast Jeremy Allen White as Rhoda the Hutt, is he going to speak English or Basic? Is he going to speak normal words in this movie, or do you think he'll be speaking Huttese? Because
if I were to guess, like probably some of both.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it wouldn't be worth.
Well, that's the thing. Because why would you cast him otherwise? Like, because it's such a big name. It would be weird to cast him, not have him on camera, but have his voice being ooda dooda ooda. Like, I don't know. It's just it's weird to me.
Just shell out the money for him to not have his face on screen, not have his voice really on screen.
Yeah.
Just kind of have the impression that like you can say, oh yeah, that's Jeremy Allen White in there.
Yeah.
Which I guess they've done before. I mean, Daniel Craig was a stormtrooper.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
But yeah, I imagine, he'll probably say some token Huttese, but maybe he'll be addressing the crowd in English. Maybe he'll switch to English when Din shows up, not knowing. Does Din speak Huttese? Have we ever seen? I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, as a bounty hunter, you probably have to.
I would imagine he does, but I don't know. I think it'll be like most Star Wars, where one person's speaking Huttese and the other person answers in Basic, but they can understand the Huttese.
Yeah.
We do see the twins, don't we, on the poster? I don't think they were in the trailer, but I believe those twin Hutts are on. Are they on the poster, or did I just make that up?
I did actually hear someone mentioning the twins. Let me.
I can't remember if I've just completely made this up or if I did see this somewhere. I feel like they were on the poster, but I honestly.
No, yeah, here they are.
They are?
Yeah, two Hutts.
Yeah,
which is interesting. Like,
I assume that's the twins from Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, I can't imagine it wouldn't be.
Mm-hmm. It would be crazy for it to be two unrelated.
two more. Yeah, there's another set of twins. Like, Yeah, there
But yeah,
is.
I
Yeah.
guess we don't know where they're from. They're not from Tatooine.
No, no. Do you think that Gladiator Arena is Oh, I just completely forgot the Hut world. Nashadar? No, that's
Let's
not
see,
right.
Nar Shaddaa. Yeah, the Hutts have a strong presence. Are you thinking like Nalhutta, like the
Nalhada,
actual
thank
Hut
you. Yes, Nalhada, that's
homeworld,
where
or
I'm thinking of. Yes, Nalhada. Sorry.
because in fairness, like Nar Shaddaa, calling Nar Shaddaa the Hut world is also not necessarily inaccurate. They've got a big presence on
Yeah, yeah.
anywhere disreputable.
Very
Uh,
much so.
but yeah, it could be Nalhutta. I figure that's the thing. Rada, we have no clue what he's been up to since he was a baby. So he
He
could
has he
easily.
ever appeared outside of the Clone Wars movie? I don't think he has he?
I'm almost certain he is not. I
Yeah.
feel like he's one that people would mention a lot. Like, did you know that the stinky baby from Clone Wars went on to, like, almost beat Han Solo to death in this comic?
This trailer doesn't give us a whole lot of plot.
Mm.
We're sort of trying to fill in the gaps ourselves here. Obviously, we'll get more information down the line. What do you think this movie will be? And what do you hope this movie will be in terms of its plot, its story, its narrative that it tells?
Let's see. You cut out for a second there. Did you say what do I want in terms of its?
Yes, what do you want and what do you think it will be? Because they might not necessarily be the same thing.
Mm-hmm. I guess yeah. I don't know that I'd say I think it'll be. I'm worried that it'll be just a simple, kind of insignificant adventure. Just Din receives a mission from Sigourney Weaver. Maybe the New Republic contracts with him about, like, oh, Hutts are infringing on New Republic space. You usually deal with the Empire, but like the criminal syndicates are also a big issue for us, and we need you to stop these guys. I worry that it'll be just a kind of standard adventure.
Yeah.
What I want, it's tough because what I want is heavily based on that I didn't love the way that they took season 3. My biggest thing is, like, I think Grogu shouldn't have returned as quickly as he did, but I also I think it's a shame that they kind of just reversed what I thought was a bold decision of giving Din the Darksaber. I think in most cases it's interesting to have a reluctant king, someone who doesn't want the obligation of uniting Mandalore. I feel like it's very in character for Din to feel the weight of that. And so, ideally, I wanted Din to be working to bring Mandalore together, which, they have retaken it, but it's very much like Din is kind of along for the ride. And him retiring with his son, you mentioned, retiring to that house seems like a great finale for his story. So now, I don't know exactly what they're doing.
And the end of season 3 does really set up that he might start working as a contractor for the New Republic, essentially, with Carson Teva sort of being like, we could use you. You could start doing something like this.
Ever since Cara Dune fell into that Sarlacc pit,
she died on the way back to her home planet. Oh, actually, no, her home planet's not there anymore. Actually, she's from Alderaan, isn't she?
Well, that's why she died, isn't it? Flew right into an asteroid field.
But yeah, so they do sort of set up him being a contractor, and sort of like what we said sort of at the beginning of this conversation. Is that enough for a movie? Like, oh, now he's just working as a contractor. I don't want to say my fear, but my feeling on what the movie will be maybe hunting down some Imperial loyalists, maybe, because I feel like they are going to keep that Empire edge in here. We see stormtroopers in the trailer, Zeb's fighting against them, we see the AT-ACTs. Maybe he'll be going after some Imperial remnants, some of the warlords maybe that were revealed in season 3. Was that the last episode, the second last episode? We saw that little shadow council there. And that might be enough, but I feel like towards the end of this movie will be set up for the next thing, where the last person that he's after is going to be someone bigger. Like, is the last name on the list that he gets, oh, now we need you to go after Grand Admiral Thrawn. I don't know. And I just don't know if it's worth being a movie, and I don't know. I'd rather just another season of television because there has to be a reason for it being a movie.
Mm-hmm. And it's honestly like, I think even looking at, who on the Shadow Council could he pursue or whatever, like, I think that's secondary. The big thing that I need to know and that I'm worried that they don't have an answer to is what is happening in Din's life that makes this story worth telling. Mm-hmm. When you look at the other Star Wars movies, good or bad, all of them are about pivotal moments in the characters' lives. We duck out when it gets dull and when it's just like, oh yeah, the Clone Wars happened. That's not like a key moment in Anakin's life. The key moments are the start of the war, the end of the war. For Luke, it's the moment he joined the rebellion. It's the moment everything changed when he learned that he couldn't just kill Darth Vader and be done with it. And then it's the moment he triumphed. This, I need a reason why we're joining Din again now. Mm-hmm. I need to know, like, what is happening with Grogu. I think an interesting angle, maybe Grogu learns to speak. Maybe he starts finally forming words.
That was going to be my next question, actually. Do you think that by the end of this movie, Grogu will speak?
I hope so. I think that would be at least something to further their relationship and further their characters. Because other than that, like, he seems content with his life on what's Grief Karga's planet?
I'm blanking on this one.
I don't know. Carl Weathers is home.
Yeah. What's that planet called?
I know. There's too many of these dang things. We got to get rid of some of these planets. Get us a new Death Star. Yeah. Just wipe them out. But he seems content there. His life with Grogu seems to have resolved nicely. I don't know what the next step is. And if it were something negative, that would be okay, but it doesn't look like it is.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because I keep going back to, like, what's the inciting incident of this movie going to be, if there is one? Is Din teaching Grogu to be a bounty hunter? Is that something that's going to happen? And then maybe they go after one target, but that target ends up being connected to something else, and then it just sort of snowballs and spirals out of control. Is that enough? Do the Empire send someone after Din and Grogu when, not so much for Grogu who's been being hunted, but if Din has been taking out these people and they're like, well, now we're going to hire a bounty hunter to take out you instead because you're doing this, and maybe they have to go on the run or something. I feel like there's a lot of... Oh, Navarro. That's the planet. Sorry. Navarro. That just clicked in. Could that be something where they're being hunted and they're the ones that have to go on the run now, and they're the ones, they become the bounties? It could be something. I don't know. I will be very interested to know what starts the action in this movie. What is the incident? I honestly think we've probably hit on everything in this trailer. Was there anything else you wanted to point out about this trailer? Any final thoughts about the movie? Any hopes, dreams, fears? Which I think we've covered most of our bases, but yeah.
That's the thing. I think we've covered it pretty summarily. My fear is mainly that it'll be insignificant.
Yeah.
I just want it to be important. I want it to be important to the character. I want something to change for him. And that's my biggest hope as well. I hope to see the next chapter in their story. I find it funny that a lot of people acted like, after season 2, there was a shocking number of people who said, like, okay, so now Grogu's gone forever and he's going to go back to being a bounty hunter. I'm like, is this the first movie or TV show you've ever seen? That is not how this is going to end.
I thought that Grogu would be gone for season 3.
Yes. I'm 100% with you.
And I thought we would have a season of him out on his own, and I thought season 3 would end with him being like, no, you know what? I want him back. I can't do this without him. I'm attached to him. I'm going to go get him back. And that's how I thought it was going to go.
Yes. I figured they'd probably reunite in the season 3 finale, which I think they still kind of did. I think that, them meeting back up in on on Mandalore in Moff Gideon's like facility feels like it was intended to be a bigger reunion, and I think it's because it was meant to be the moment where they're actually like reunited.
That was the original one, yeah. It's
and
still
then they like kind of toned it down.
It still boggles my mind that their reunion was in Book of Boba Fett.
It's so weird. And it's 100%. I'm so confident, and I've even been given reason to be more confident that some executive said the baby's too marketable. You got to bring him back. We can't do a season without the baby.
Yeah. I don't know. What they could have done though, they could have done a season 3 without Grogu, and then in the middle, if they needed like a filler episode, do a flashback. Do a flashback episode where here he was still with Grogu, and this is where they really like got attached to each other and have him think about that throughout the rest of the season, and then by the season's end, he's just like, no, I want him back. I've been thinking about him. I want him back, and because that way you can still stick him in the season, you can still sell the toys.
Even frankly, you can do Grogu can be in the season, just not with Din. Just like every episode, cut back to Luke for a lesson. We'll see over the season Grogu's training evolve until finally Luke offers like, "Hey, you miss your dad. You can go."
Yeah. I think I'm pretty much on the same page. I'm excited to see these characters back because I really do love The Mandalorian as a show as a whole. I love The Mandalorian, I love Din Djarin, I love Grogu. I love this world that they've set up and built. But I do want it to have value. I want there to be worth to these characters coming back. I want it to prove that it has a point to be a movie and not just a couple of episodes. But I am still very excited. I don't think this was the best first public look at the movie. I think, like you said, we needed a little bit more in this. We needed a little bit more to chew on. I do have faith, though. I do think I will come out on the other side that I will enjoy this movie. I like Jon Favreau. I think Jon Favreau is a great director. I really do. And I have confidence, and I just hope I'm not burnt by that. I'm trying to be pretty optimistic about this one.
That is true. I will say, like, despite all my, misgivings and my hesitations, I think at worst I will expect this movie to be fine. I think no matter what, I anticipate it'll be fun and enjoyable. I just want it to be more than that.
100%. Yeah, I really agree. And I think a part of that comes from the fact that this movie did really kind of come out of nowhere, where at 2023 celebration, we had 3 movies announced. And then it's like, and the next movie coming is Mandalorian and Grogu. And it's just like, oh, that's not what you said, though.
Instead of any of those.
Yeah, it sort of just came out of nowhere. And I was just like, oh, okay, we're doing this now. Okay, we'll see how we go. But yeah, all in all, I'm excited for it. May 22nd, 2026. Still got a little while to go. I am trying to make a Mandalorian outfit for this movie. My 3D printer has basically shit itself, though, and I need to take the whole thing apart, put it all back together.
Well,
Alex,
good luck. That's right.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on here and having a chat about this movie with me.
Absolutely, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mission to organize. Everyone being in different time zones, having life, going on.
Yes,
but yeah, thank you for making it work. Absolutely.
It's we're 10 hours apart at best, 14 hours if we want to be on the same day of the week.
Oh yeah.
So it's a doozy.
Yeah, it's 10, 11 p.m. right now. Yeah, so.
And for me, I woke up at 5 and I'm here at 8 a.m. I'm probably going to go back to sleep as soon as we're off.
That's a good call. Alex, let everyone know where they can find you and follow you if they want to check out your stuff.
You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm technically on some other websites, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend checking those out. Those are the 3 I use. TikTok most of all. I'm on all of those as Alex Let's Yo, just as it's written here. I don't know if that'll be on screen, but I talk about Star Wars. I talk about Star Wars books, doing a lot of Star Wars Lego stuff recently, and also general other nerd stuff. I talk about Invincible when those seasons come out. So if you're interested in any nerd culture things, Superman was great, but mostly Star Wars.
Yeah.
Is my one.
Anyway, thank you again for coming on and chatting about Mandalorian and Grogu. Yeah, I'll definitely get you back on here to do another video at some point in the future. We'll talk about some more Star Wars stuff.
Absolutely. It's been a blast.
All right, thank you very much. Bye, everyone.